Level Up Latina partners with working women and mamas alike to guide them in achieving fulfilling career and life goals through financial empowerment, professional or leadership coaching, and personal wellness. Find the unique coaching you need to succeed.
You're listening to Vero, Ceci, and Irene, and we are Level Up Latina.
I just coughed up the biggest ball of phlegm right now with the risa. I knew, and I knew it was in there, but I couldn't get it out. Thanks to
The outtakes of this show are hysterical. I'm going to use it for one whole episode.
Oh my God.
The outtakes episode. That would be so funny.
Oh, shit.
Dios santo.
It sounded like such a pedo. It was my throat.
I don't believe her.
Sure. Sure, my friend. Oh my God, I'm fucking sweaty.
You can tell us and all of our listeners it was really a fart. Come on, Susie. Tip of the day. You can fart in peace.
Please. Oh my God, that was such a deep laugh. I took that out.
Susie's so humiliated. She ran away to yell at her kids and she hasn't come back. She's somewhere. I can't talk. She's somewhere partying.
I'm gonna start crying. No.
I'm gonna kill myself if I keep laughing. Oh
yeah. She's like, me de vergüenza. Mejor me voy.
I'm gonna leave this all in and surprise her.
She's like, my electricity went out.
Oh my God, Sissy, when she hears this episode. Dios.
Ay, Dios. I needed this laugh. Oh my God.
Oh my God, I know. I will pee on myself. This is so funny.
Welcome to another episode of the Level Up Latina podcast. This is episode 164, or also another short episode of our summer series. Today, we're going to be talking about a big problem that we had this year, actually, and how we ended up solving. So before we get into it, I just want to check in aquí con mis chulas. ¿Cómo están? ¿Cómo se sienten? ¿Cómo les está tratando el día?
Bien. I had a nice little laugh attack right now that it cleared my throat.
We laughed and laughed. You're going to have to listen to the show, Pussy, to hear what we were laughing about.
Oh my God, what was it about?
About your farting.
Oh no, I don't fart.
It was a throat.
It was a throat. Yeah, it was a throat.
But figuring out what problems haven't we had? I'm just kidding. But yeah, other than that, we're good. Yeah.
Oh man, you know what? I had a good one too. When we were thinking about it, se me fue. Shit.
Oh, great.
Hi, Vero.
No, I forgot this was our episode too. I was like, oh, that's what we're talking about? Clearly we have no problems, listeners. We must have no problems.
I thought of one. You know what? I thought of one when we were recording the previous episode, and it wasn't like a huge problem, but I was like, oh, okay, I'll talk about that. And right now I forgot. Oh, well.
What my big problem? My kids.
But anyway, that problem is, if you have a big problem that you had this year, what was it and how did you solve it? Does anyone want to start? Does anyone have a big problem that they had this year and they figured out a solution? Oh, I just remembered. But it's not a huge problem, but I figured out how to solve it. So I'll start. And again, it's not a huge problem. I know this is what I'm thinking of right now. So last year we were, you guys know about this already, but last year we were supposed to go to Mexico in November. And so we had purchased tickets to go to Mexico, and then we had to cancel that trip. And then we didn't have insurance, so they didn't give us one airline didn't give us our money back. Another airline did, thank you to them. But this other airline, they were making it difficult, and so I had to get like a letter from my mom's doctor, and then I submitted it. So I made it happen somehow. And so they ended up giving me an extension for the tickets. So e-tickets that were going to expire July 12th. So July this month, essentially. And that they were going to waive the fee or whatever to change the date change the date for the flights. So come like a month ago or 2 months ago, I realized that those tickets were going to expire, and we were planning a trip to Mexico, but not until August. So I emailed them, I submitted all these letters still, and they were just giving me a hard time. I was calling every week. I was fighting with them. I was emailing them that they never got my email, and that I should just wait for customer service to get back to me. And I was just like every Friday I was like fighting with them like a whole half hour and just trying to get my way. And then maybe like 2 weeks ago, so we went ahead and booked our vacation, but we didn't book our flight back because I told my husband, I'm like, well, let's see if we can use that credit. Like, let's see if we can somehow make it work. And, because it's not, not that they were super expensive, but still, I think it was around $900. I'm like, I want to use that towards something. So anyway, 2 weeks ago, I told my husband, I'm like, you know what? You call now. Like you try to call and, just play dumb and say, hey, I have these e-tickets. I want to book my flight. And can we make it happen? I'm like, don't mention anything about the expiration date that they gave us. And yeah, he called. He, se hizo menso and he didn't mention anything about the expiration date and he was able to book it. And I was like, oh my God, I should have thought about this a month ago and saved myself frustration and time, right? On the phone that I was just calling every single week and just fighting and getting frustrated and asking for I was being a Karen, asking for their manager. But at the same time, they're like, oh, pues es que aquí tenemos esto y no hay teléfono directamente para customer service. And I'm like, how is there not a number directly to customer service? Anyway, that was a problem. Again, it's not a huge problem, but it saved us money. And then now just frustration that we're like, oh my God, we're going to lose the value of those tickets. So that was my problem this year.
Your life is so nice. That was your problem? That's a really good life.
No, that's
I can't think of anything else. If I think of something else,
you'll find it and
I'll
you won't
find
be
it.
happy.
I mean, it's when I think of bigger problems. I think of other bigger problems that you've had and how I've, figured them out. But I feel like I've talked about them more in depth in prior episodes. Like, when I was going through just having more on my plate with my mom, I found therapy and that helped me. So. That's been another one, but I feel like I've already talked about that in the past. What about you, ladies?
But I think that was a good problem to solve, though, because normally you just give up. Airlines are just so good. And you have to have the willpower and the time to really be like, nope, I need to talk to somebody else. Oh, you can't do anything? I need to talk to somebody else. Then that's the only way. You have to have so much patience. So you had already done everything you could and you're like, okay, you coached Luis through it. So that's perfect. Like you're gonna get fucking plane tickets no matter what, homie.
Yeah, we're gonna make it happen.
You know what's cool too is that you also you said it, you brushed it aside a little, and you said you've already discussed it, but I think it is a big deal. Like, Ceci did two really cool things. She was relentless with her tickets, which is a lesson there, and she didn't give up on that. She earned it and deserved it and got her tickets. But also, she very casually mentioned going to therapy this year. That's a big thing to do this year. Starting that, having that experience, having that in your corner. You're overwhelmed. You have a lot going on with mom and work and girls and life, and you shouldn't have to do it on your own. So that's very cool, Ceci. So congratulations. I know we are saying that it's something we've talked about, but that's a big thing you solved in your life. Like, your mental health is hugely important, and I'm glad that you went for it.
We took away, or we've taken away, I think our culture now, this generation, taking away that taboo of like going to therapy. What, no es para locos. It's just to be okay mentally and have more balance and just have más, more serenity, especially when you're dealing and just juggling a bunch of things in life. And for me, that's been very helpful. I started in December, and now it's 8 months in, and it's been great. And there's days where therapy, what is it, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, what is it,
50 minutes
50 minutes, right? So that it goes up to 50 minutes, and sometimes it's shorter, and I'm like, I don't know what else to talk about, or like, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about today. I actually don't have anything right now to talk about, but something always comes up, like whether it's things with kids, things with the husband, or things with family and mom. It's something that always comes up. So I look forward to it, and then afterwards I feel good. I feel replenished and just ready to go on with my day and week. What about you, chicas?
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah. Have you guys thought about
this year? I think I can relate to the therapy thing for sure. I started therapy over the course of this year as well. I think I started maybe like 2 months before you, maybe 3 months before you. So we've both been, like, at least in the calendar year, like, on this journey. Part of the reason I started therapy actually has to do with my husband, and I've never shared that on the podcast, so I can share it today. I wouldn't call it a problem, but it was a revelation that was huge. But he actually went to see a therapist because we were having this reoccurring fight. And I was like, this was like last September, this was a year ago. I was like, you really got to figure something out with this reoccurring fight. And he's like, okay, I'm going to see a therapist about this. So he goes to see this therapist. And this is like his story to tell, but he hasn't had a chance to tell it. So I'll just fill it. So then he goes to see this therapist. And the minute the therapist is like talking to him, the therapist says to him, like, have you ever considered that maybe you have ADHD? The therapist tells him this. Because my husband tends to like stop and start a lot of things, except me. Like I'm like the one thing he's like obsessed with. So, but people with ADHD have like hyper focus. That sounds stupid. That sounded conceited. But the fact is that there's some things that they do really well because like they're like super hyper focused. So he's very hyper focused on the things he loves, but then he's not focused on other things. So anyway, long and short of it is his first therapy session, he finds out that he has ADHD. For me, that was like a bomb was like dropped in my life because I'm like, oh my God, well that explains like so many things. Like thanks a lot. Like 18 years of this and like we just have the solution right there. Little Adderall pill can fix it. So anyway, I knew that information, like to be supportive of my spouse, was like, I need to go to therapy because I'm going to kill him. Like I'm going to kill him now because now it's like this whole thing and it's not a problem. I want to be really candid. Like this is not a problem. And I have clients that have kids with ADHD and it's all okay. I wish I would have known when my husband was a kid. He wished he would have known when he was in college, but it is what it is. But I went to therapy because I felt like I needed to be a supportive spouse because I felt originally like this is going to be a problem for me. I'm going to resent not knowing this sooner and how things were harder for me and my personality being what it is. Like now it all makes sense why I am how I am because I'm also compensating for my husband's more forgetfulness or his stop and startness or his good intentions that don't pan out. Now we know what it is. Anyway, he's been on medication for, now a year because he figured this out. It's been really good for his life, but I started therapy to be supportive of him, which is really good for my life. And in the end, it helped me solve my issues with like not maybe solve my issues, but be better with my mom, better with my siblings, process like stuff with my siblings that I never really thought about, like didn't give much importancia to. But like Ceci says, like sometimes you have stuff to talk about with your therapist, sometimes you don't. Like, what do you talk about? Like, I feel she's like always digging into my childhood. So while this was about my husband and supposedly helping my husband and being a better wife for my husband, it ended up being a lot about me and like my mom, my relationship with my siblings and being a better daughter, being a better sister. And I'm really glad that I solved that problem. It's like a problem I didn't even know I had, but it's cool because I have come a long way with my family because I have this awareness that a therapist has me kind of think through and just work through and be a better person. And I love my relationship now with my mom because I have used therapy as a way to improve my relationship with my mom. And now I'm even working on like my relationship with my siblings again because therapy does that. So I'm kind of solving two things. I'm trying to be a better wife, but ultimately I'm just becoming a better family member. And hopefully I'll end with a cherry on the cake, a better business partner. So earlier we talked about relationships, but like therapy helps you with all relationships, working relationships too. So that's my big story. It's a lot for the mini episode. So I had to keep it very short and not give you guys all the details.
Nice. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, it is. I know. I'm like, oh, yeah, we'll talk about that later on for sure. I feel I have ADHD.
I don't have to share anything. I'm just, no, keep going. I don't have to share anything.
They don't have to come over. Let's talk about the next topic.
Yeah. What about you?
No, not at all.
You thought about your problem?
I think I've had two problems.
Ceci, by the way, Ceci, you don't have ADHD. You said that casually. You don't. I would tell you do not.
I told Luis, I'm like, I feel like I do.
You do not. I can tell you do not. Go ahead. No, you have two problems.
Yeah, I've had two problems, and one of them was reliable childcare. The other one has been lots of identity for a bit. So, number one, it was really causing tension between my husband and I because, he was working. He was working from home, thankfully. He didn't get laid off during the pandemic, nothing. But it became, when I had to do certain things with Level Up Latina, I would definitely reach out to my family and ask for help. But then sometimes it wasn't consistent, and I think I didn't share it much with you ladies either, but I was like, I need to make it work. I need to make whatever happens, like someone here help me, or like I'm going to have to find a way to keep these kids entertained while I do a coaching assessment, while I do a coaching call, or while I do my social media stuff. So it was becoming a little bit of a stressor on my end, but then I was becoming very reliant on my husband being home. Knowing his schedule, I was like, well, he doesn't have much right now. I know he's on calls, but he's not presenting. So I would be like very laxy-daisy about it. And just be like, hey, the kids are watching a movie, so if something happens, like, just let me know. And it started taking a toll on him. He's like, hey, you know that I need to be present for work. Maybe I'm not leading the call, maybe this. And I didn't think that it was causing that kind of an issue. But a lot of that came from not having that reliable childcare. And I thought that, my family was like, most of the time, I would say 80% of the time, they came through. Like, sure, no problem. You need us from what time to what time. But then it became an issue where they're like, okay, I'm like, just be here by 2 because I have a call by 2:30, and they wouldn't show up till 3. So I just felt like I didn't have that support. And at the same time, I was trying to make it work for our company and make it work with my kids and make it work with my husband. But it was starting to cause an issue there. Now, part of that was me getting, the nanny. And even at the beginning, she was just our cleaning lady. But he's like, I noticed that you have so much more on your plate now than before. Like, do you understand that, like, I'm providing? I want you to understand that we don't, that there's certain things that you don't need to add onto your plate. Let me take care of us. Let me do this. He's like, but you're not letting me do that by this and this and this. So, like marital problems come in easily like that. So I was like, dang, this sucks. I'm like, and I was really getting upset at myself and getting upset at my family for that, because I'm like, I'm counting on you guys. Like, what the hell? So at the end of the day, when I was talking to the cleaning lady, she's like, I've never taken care of kids, but I was like, are you ever interested in taking care of kids, like for a few hours here and there? And she's like, I've never done it, but sure. And the kids were really like, le caía bien la señora. So I was like, let's try it out. And that really gave me back a little bit of the, okay, I don't have to stress about cleaning and watching the kids and trying to schedule LUL and trying to be a wife and trying to do all this stuff. So I was like, I need to be able to to get some things off my plate. So I think that solution was asking for help. And that solution was being understanding of where my husband was coming from. He's like, look, that what you called the so-and-so reliable support or childcare, they have things going on. They are not thinking that they are that reliable childcare. So you need to find a solution. And that was part of it. Another part of it, I felt that was also contributing to, like, who the hell am I? Like, yes, I'm the mom, the house cleaner, the cook, the wife, the business partner. And I found myself really lost. So, I've mentioned this many times, like, my life did change significantly, drastically in the last 5 years. I really was like, well, who the fuck am I now? Like, really, who am I? I know there's things at my core that are who I believe I am and the things I believe in and who I want to be. But it was really like taking a toll on me. Like, I didn't feel like I was showing up at all, like really as my best self. So I was doing my best. I was still showing up for clients. I was showing up for LUL. I was showing up for my family, for my kids, for everyone. But I didn't feel like I was showing up for me at all. So that's when I asked for help again. And that's when I got a coach. And it was kind of like just walking me through this, all the ideas in my head and just putting things in perspective for me. And that was probably one of the best things I did, because I was blaming myself for a lot of stuff. But at the same time, there were so many things that happened so quickly that were just out of my control that I wanted to have a grasp on. Like, no, I want to be the person before, like I was before, with that clean, nice schedule and my calendar nice and clear, and with the things I want on there and time for me. But realistically, things were not like that. And because life was just fucking crazy. And not because I wanted it to be crazy, but because so much had changed. I wasn't accepting who I had transitioned into. I was just holding on to who that person was like 5 years ago. So that's why I said earlier, like in one of the other podcasts, I said, I'm like letting go of having to do everything. Fuck that. I would want to say, I love it. Yeah. Oh my God. I got it all down. I could do it all. Yeah, I could do it all, but I don't want to be fucking crazy.
Oh my God.
I don't want to have issues with anyone. I want to be able to enjoy my husband, my family. And that's where you have to find little solutions. So those have been my two major problems this year that really meant me having to go out and ask for help than just saying like, I've got this, no problem. So yeah, those were my things.
Big ones.
Pretty big.
Thank you for sharing that, Vero. I mean, I think it's, a good reminder of don't get wrapped up in just your everyday and like trying to please everyone. Like you're pleasing others and not really looking, to what your needs, like were your needs being met and they weren't. And also just goes to show like we're coaches, we're coaching women, but we're also seeking help and professional help. Like Vero has her coach. Irene and I talked about going to therapy, because we don't have it, no lo tenemos todo resuelto. You know, we are experiencing life, we're experiencing our careers, we're experiencing our business together, and we don't have it all figured out. So we need that guidance, even if it's just to help us map things out or just hear us out and just digging in and what it is that we need to do to work, right? So this is a good episode, a good reminder of, you know, we can have small problems, big problems, and the ways that we figure it out. So if you're listening to this, if you feel that you know, don't have it figured out, if you have had a coach in the past or haven't and want to know more about it, you know where to find us. Our email, our social media handles are at Level Up Latina. And also our handle at Twitter is at Latina_up. If you want to schedule a free assessment to find out more about our coaching services, go out to our website, leveluplatina.com. You can sign up for your free assessment for one-on-one coaching and learn more about it, or even sign up for our group coaching, which is a monthly guilt-free squad sessions. Also, if you're a small business and you want to promote your business on our show, hop on over to our site to purchase your business shout out. So with that, chicas, I don't know if you guys have anything else to add to this short and sweet episode. Anything else?
No, we're good. We're Gucci Mane.
Thank you for joining today. Thank you for listening to our short and sweet summer series. So with that, it's a wrap, chicas. Gracias por todo. Thank you for being here y las queremos.